dread it, run from it. The backlog arrives all the same. Welcome back to another episode of the Big Backlog Declog, where I'm plunging my library, giving every game I've collected over the years a fighting shot at entertaining me. It's been a while since I've had the courage to go through some of the games in my backlog, but we're here, we're back in the bowels, and actually this time I found a good number of shiny turds to talk about. So let's talk about it. The Frog Detective games were in a Humble Bundle, and I saw someone, I always go into the Reddit threads on those Humble Bundles just to see what people think. And there was somebody who said a positive thing, so obviously I had to give them a shot, and shot I gave them. They're mystery games, heavy air quotes there, where you play a detective who is also a frog. As a giant fan of BoJack Horseman, this game was instantly appealing to me. I mean, humanoid-looking animals signed me up. That appeal, though, wears off in about 30 minutes, I'd say. Which is perfect, because that's how long these games are. They are very quick. Each game boils down to a single area where you talk to everyone once. They'll tell you the item that they want. Along the way, one of them will either just give you an item, or you will find an item laying on the ground. And then you just kind of chain reaction trade the items back. The first item goes to the one guy, he gives you a new item, you go to the next person, blah, 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 until you get to the end. And then you solve the case. That's it. You're done. The case is over. And the both of the cases, the answer, the big reveal, the mystery solution, is so anticlimactic, even a masochist wouldn't enjoy it. So I would give these games a frog out of 5. Another short but sweet game, Space Court, sees you as a judge in a space court. A new judge in a space court. You play through a week in the life of a space court judge, coming into contact with a number of alien characters, all looking for mediation of their problems. How you respond determines how much they like you. After about an hour or so of this, you get an ending based on the relationships you built. It's actually fine for what it is. I really thought the writing was pretty engaging. The different aliens were pretty interesting. Each of them has legitimate personality, which absolutely influenced my judgments. I mean, I'm pretty sure I condemned an entire planet to be eaten because their representative was a D-bag. I didn't like him, but tough, that's what happens. You gotta be nice. So I sided with the other alien who wanted to eat him. It made sense. I don't feel bad. I think there's replay value because you can go through and get the different results to each of there's, I think, 2 cases. But, I can barely play through games in my backlog once. So I ain't doing it again. I don't got time for that. I'd give Space Court in Aliens. Did you know that Solitaire is actually a generic catch-all for card games? There's like 50 different kinds of Solitaire that you can play. Well, the Solitaire Conspiracy has an interesting take on it, where you pile up your suits from ace to king, but in the meantime you have other piles of suits that you can put any number on as long as it's less than the number you're putting it on, if that makes sense. This game mixes it up a little bit by giving each of the unique suits their own power, abilities, things that get activated when you use their face cards. It definitely adds a layer of strategy. Some of the abilities are actually, I would argue, detrimental, so it really makes you think when you want to move and where. It requires you to be very deliberate in most of your moves. There is a narrative, but technically it's just a dude sitting there talking to you. It's kind of like a YouTube channel, but I mean, I do it better than this guy does. It's just a monologuing guy talking about a criminal. He's trying to be cool. He's trying to, act. It's pretty cringe. I genuinely skipped through 90% of it. The game's fine. I played it on the harder difficulty, which brings about fixed deals in each of the campaign missions and a fewer number of moves. that you are given to complete the level, and I still never really had a problem with any of it. There's some pretty clever deals that they give you and some solutions that you have to figure out, but ultimately it's just a forgettable card game. It's a nice distraction while you're playing it, and then it's gone and you don't miss it. So I'd give the Solitaire Conspiracy a deuces out of 5. Beastbreaker is a cool game in theory that's unfortunately just stumbles in its execution. It takes the kind of bubble bobble gameplay idea and tries to wrap an RPG game around it. It's actually really neat. I was really into it for the first 30 minutes or so. They give you weapon sets that come with 4 abilities. These 4 abilities synergize together, encouraging you to do unique things that will then let you damage these monsters. Each ability gives you a certain distance that you'll travel, and you kind of send your guy around the map, bouncing into this giant monster, breaking his shields, and then hitting them for damage. But it just gets old really fast. Combats take too long, and there's just so many of them. And there was nothing encouraging me to keep going. Everything was so generic. The characters, I didn't like any of them. None of them were doing it for me. The story, it's not even there. The encounters, again, just drag and drag and drag. There's so many shield pieces. All the shields regenerate, and it's you wonder what you're doing with your life. There's not really a ton of variety in the monsters either. It would have been cool if there was a lot of variety to the monsters, if each fight had its own unique monster. But I felt like I was just fighting the same ones over and over and over. So I did give up on it, but if it looks fun, I would still say give it a shot, because it is a unique take on the whole interactive RPG with arcadey type gameplay. It's definitely cool. It's just a huge missed opportunity. It was more frustrating than fun. And for that, I would give it a broken expectations out of 5. Well, 4 games I didn't totally hate myself for playing, and that I didn't think I wasted my life by experiencing. What a joy. I wouldn't expect this to continue for the Backlog Declog. I think we just got real lucky with these. I'm gonna try and, I don't know. I like doing this series. I know these are not as popular as some of my more dedicated reviews on the channel. So please, if you want to see this series continue, leave a comment down below. Tell me what other crappy games that I most definitely have in my backlog that I should give a chance to. What other terrible games have you played lately because you bought them in a humble bundle? Please let me know. Like the video if you like the video, if you want to see more like it. Share this video so other people watch it. Subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss my other videos. And I'll see you in the next video.